Good afternoon to you. Welcome to the broadcast. Thank you for your wonderful company. You're watching EBN News at 1. My name is Cynthia Nanjala. Let me bring you up to speed on what is making headlines across the country at this hour. Now, government spokesperson Dr. Isaac Mwaura is expected to address the media at 1:30 p.m. That is from the Kenyatta International Convention Center. And so we've got our eyes and ears on the ground. We'll be ready for that address as soon as it kicks off, and we'll be bringing you that live coverage. But elsewhere, today in history, on August 7th, 1998, more than 220 people were killed in near simultaneous truck explosions in Kenya's capital, Nairobi, and in Tanzania at the United States embassies. It's been 26 years after the 1998 attack, which the Al-Qaeda claimed responsibility for the raids that left over 5,000 people injured. For many, the scars are not just physical but emotional, etched deeply into their memories. The 1998 attack thrust Al-Qaeda onto the global stage and was the first in a series of bloody assaults in the East African nation. Since the October 2011 deployment of the Kenyan military in Somalia to fight the Al-Qaeda affiliate Al-Shabaab, there has been an upsurge in revenge attacks over the border. In September 2013, Al-Shabaab gunmen stormed Nairobi's Westgate Mall, killing at least 67 people. Another Al-Shabaab attack in April 2015 at a university in the eastern Kenyan city, Garissa, left 148 people dead. In January 2019, the group laid siege to a hotel complex in Nairobi, killing 21 people.
Go take a picture there. No.
Indeed, what a day it has been, especially for those that were victims of that particular bombing, or had families that sadly died or were injured in those particular two explosions. Normally a day no one wants to remember, but here we are 26 years later. Now, the Ministry of Health and the Kenya National Union of Nurses and Midwives have signed their first ever collective bargaining agreement, signaling a new beginning in their dealings. The agreement, which is effective July 1st, 2021 to 30th June 2025, establishes improved terms of engagement for nurses under the Ministry of Health, enhancing their rights, working conditions and benefits. Speaking at the signing ceremony officiated by Public Health and Professional Standards Principal Secretary Mary Mudhoni and her counterpart in Medical Services Harry Kimutai, they say the government would remain committed to upholding the end of the deal in terms of implementing the CBA. The Principal Secretary says the CBA covers key aspects such as union rights, job classifications, salaries, allowances, employment conditions, and various employee benefits. Furthermore, it has introduced a comprehensive grading structure ensuring fair and transparent job designations and remuneration.
Honest, I'm keeping silent.
Thank you.
We've kept our promise.
I want to assure the union that as agreed in this collective bargaining agreement, we shall endeavor to deliver on our part as a government. Our request, therefore, is to the union to urge their members to continue dedicating themselves to delivery of service at this very critical juncture where we are implementing universal healthcare coverage. We want to call upon all the health workers to collaborate and work closely with the government.
We have met some grounds which are going to be a foundation to achieve what we have. But one of the key issues is that the government made a promise with us in 2017 of enhancing our uniform allowance, collective bargaining agreement, and uniform allowance, and nursing service allowance and risk allowance. In this CBA, we have gotten our risk allowance, we have gotten our uniform allowance enhanced by 5,000 shillings. We expect it to go up to 25,000 in subsequent CBAs, and also the nursing service allowance to go to 30,000 in subsequent CBAs. I thank Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital, the only public institution within the health sector that has fully implemented the return to work formula of 2017.
This is the union that has not gone even on industrial strike in a very, very long time, because we have been in conversation and we have agreed on a number of issues, and they have been patient, and you can see patience pays. Secondly, this is the first ever collective bargaining agreement with the Ministry of Health, and we are happy to achieve it together and again implement the same together.
The Azimio la Umoja coalition has unanimously approved the appointment of Suna East Member of Parliament Junet Mohamed and Suba North Member of Parliament Millie Odhiambo as the new minority leader and the minority whip in the National Assembly respectively. According to the ODM Secretary General Edwin Sifuna, the changes followed a resolution in the meeting of the Azimio Parliamentary Group held on Tuesday. These changes were announced following the resignation of former minority leader Opiyo Wandayi, who is expected to take over the Ministry of Energy if his nomination is approved by Parliament.
Naibu kiongozi wa walio wachache Mheshimiwa Robert Mbui alikuwa pale kutoka bunge la kitaifa. Mheshimiwa Enoch Wambua ambaye ni seneta wa Kitui na ndiye naibu wa kiongozi wa walio wachache ndani ya bunge la Senate alikuwepo, na wabunge wengi wa Wiper.
Out of those 4 positions that are vacant, we would like the party leadership to consider to give one of those positions to a woman. We are all aligned, and we are saying that the woman that we are putting forward to represent the women of Kenya, to represent the women of Azimio, to represent the women of ODM is Her Excellency Madam Gladys Nyasuna Wanga.
Hizo viti za Central Committee, mojawapo mama sasa apewe nafasi ya kufanyia kazi chama, na tunajua ya kwamba huyu ni mama amejitolea muhanga, si tu katika kaunti yake ya Homa Bay bali pia kwa kazi ya chama ameifanya.
For years, traders at Toy Market have faced repeated fires, yet their determination to rebuild bigger and better remains unwavering. Reconstruction is once again underway at the market following a devastating fire on Saturday that killed 4 people and left hundreds of traders counting losses. The resilience of business people in a market that has cost them millions, but they refuse to abandon it.
Biashara yangu beli moja ninanunua na 31,500. Ninauza trouser, shati ninanunua na 34,000. Na nikiangalia hiyo stock vile ilikuwa ni over 500. Ya 2023 nilichomekewa na beli 9, sikuwa nimefungua. Hii nimechomekewa na beli 4, sijafungua. Kwa hivyo hiyo ni kama pesa umechukua ukatupa. Hata kama ninachomekewa, ninapata nafasi nyingine tena ya kutoka pale chini nikiinuka. Yaani sioni mahali pengine ninaenda kutafuta kazi.
Penye pesa itatoka nijenge, Mungu ndiye anajua, lakini najua ya kwamba nitasimama kwa muda tu kidogo kidogo, Mungu atanisimamisha.
Ni juzi tu tulichomekewa, tena tukapoteza mali mingi sana ya dhamani. Hizi pesa ambayo tumeweka huku, tunanuka madeni, hata kwa barabara watu wanatuona tu ni madeni.
Mtu amepoteza mali ya over $1 million, na we operate on loans. Na loans za bank hazijui kama umechomekewa ama hujachomekewa. Sasa hiyo hasara, kuna mtu hata ametoka kazi, serikali imeshindwa kutuandika, na sisi tukajitafutia kazi roho safi.
The High Court has blocked the police from arresting and detaining members of Parliament James Mwangi Gakuyo and Benjamin Gathiru, commonly known as Major Donk, who had been under investigation as part of a probe into the funding of the Gen Z protests. This cools down what appears to be escalating pressures on allies of the Deputy President, with the duo bringing the total number of Gachagua allies questioned to 5.
It moved from Ford Foundation. It was brought into the door of the sitting Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency Gachagua Rigiji. Out of that line, his supporters His key supporters, one being Honorable James Mwangi Gakuya and Major Dong, were targeted, and other people were arrested, and also very many young people disappeared that have not been accounted for. The two members of parliament were hounded from parliament buildings without their lawyers, taken to the DCI. They were held incommunicado. They were questioned on two things: their relationship with one, His Excellency the Deputy President, Gachagua. They were questioned whether they have funds. Investigations were done. They were told to surrender their telephone handset. When they called us, we advised them not to surrender the telephone handsets.
Of the reasons why these anti-government protests have been there, we know for a fact that the young generation of this Republic of Kenya have been coming out conspicuously and loudly to speak against the injustices that we've been seeing from the government, the lack of accountability and the lack of transparency. It cannot be in the mouths or the hands of the very same government to try and distract us by trying to arrest or causing the arrest and intimidation of leaders by the name of, attributing the anti-government protest to some of these leaders. We know for a fact that these young men have been leaderless. These young individuals of the Republic of Kenya, we have been partyless.
The University Academic Staff Union, WASU, has issued a 7-day strike notice due to leadership wrangles at the institution that led to the suspension of Vice Chancellor Stephen Kiama. This comes after Professor Margaret Chesang Hutchinson took over as acting Vice Chancellor of the University of Nairobi following the suspension of Professor Stephen Kiama. She will serve for 3 months before further decisions are made. Kiama was suspended by the University Council for alleged poor performance, including failing to account for the university's debt rising from 9 billion shillings to 20 billion in his 5-year tenure.
Delay in disbursing the July salaries to the staff of the University of Nairobi is actually a result of the University Council not getting its act together. As WASU, we are alive to the fact of the Council's powers on deciding who becomes the CEO. We are also aware that the Council is supposed to ensure the institution's financial fidelity. We demand that salaries be paid immediately and with due consistency every month. If at all our demands are actually not going to be met, we are going to call our members. We always have a tool in industrial relations.
WASU leadership at the University of Nairobi is known. So I'm not going to allow council chairs to pick rumors on the streets.
Now, Narok County Governor Patrick Ntutu is calling on motorists to be vigilant while driving along the highways to reduce reported accidents. This is after 4 people, among them 3 foreigners and a Kenyan driver, died on the spot in the Katakala area along the Narok-Bomet highway while driving in a tow vehicle. The accident occurred when the tow Land Cruiser attempted to overtake but unfortunately collided head-on with an oncoming trailer, killing all the occupants on the spot.
Nataka tu kuomba wananchi, saa hizi ile mwezi wa 8 imefika na ni wakati ambayo tuko na watalii wengi ambao wanakuja hapa kwetu na wanaenda Masai Mara. Na hapa pia tuko na watu ambayo wanalima, ambayo wanaenda kufuna ngano na mahindi, na kuna kuanga na ukora mingi sana hapa Narok. Naomba wananchi muwe waangalifu kwa wale watu ambayo wanatoka kwingine na wanataka kuwaibia nyinyi ile pesa ambayo mnapata kupitia mambo ya tourist na pia mambo ya ukulima. Jambo la tatu ni kwamba nataka kuwaomba, tuko na kuna accident nyingi ambayo inafanyika katika barabara zetu, na ni kwa sababu kuna watu wanaendesha magari kwa haraka sana. Na mimi nataka tu kuwaomba nyinyi muwe waangalifu, hasa wa vijana wetu wa pikipiki. Juzi tumepoteza wa vijana wetu wawili hapa kwa Ndulele. na hiyo ni kumaanisha ya kwamba wa vijana walitoka usiku na kuna lori ambayo iliweza kupata accident pale, na kwa sababu pia wa vijana wetu muwe waangalifu sana wakati mko na hizi pikipiki, lazima mfae helmet ili wasaidie mnapopata mambo ya ajali.
World Breastfeeding Week is held in the first week of August every year, supported by the WHO, UNICEF and many ministries of health and civil society partners. The theme for 2024 is Closing the Gap, Breastfeeding Support for All. The campaign aims to celebrate breastfeeding moms in all their diversity throughout their breastfeeding journeys, while showcasing the ways families, societies and communities, as well as health workers, can have the back of every breastfeeding mom.
Ukishatoa matiti then mdomo ya mtoto hii lips ya juu na ya chini inapaswa kuwa imefunguka vizuri. Sawa. But in case ikiendelea then mtoto akue
to promote, protect and support the exclusive breastfeeding. Breastfeeding is very important, and I joined the nutrition department together with the health facility administrators so that I meet the lactating women and we talk more about breastfeeding with them. We encourage them to breastfeed exclusively from 0 months to 6 months.
My name is Lydia Mbeche. I coordinate nursing services within this facility. I'm very grateful for the visit that the Mheshimiwa has come to do within this facility. At least the mothers that we have in this facility have realized that it is not just a facility event, it is also an event for the community. So we are grateful because the mothers are excited. They have gotten information that they did not have on how we can breastfeed exclusively. The main thing is exclusive breastfeeding. So far, our mothers are well informed today, and they have left excited because of even the gifts that they got from the Mheshimiwa.
Started from 1st of August, going all the way up to 7th of August. Our theme basically is closing the gap, and that is through supporting all the breastfeeding mothers. So today we've met our mothers here at Yala Sub-County Hospital, and we are so grateful because we've really encouraged them. We've passed the message across of really ensuring that all our children are supposed to be breastfed exclusively for 6 months without giving any other thing, be it water, and if need be, then we will only prescribe medication at the facility level. And we're also really encouraging these mothers who are breastfeeding to ensure that they have good nutrition. That is basically ensuring that out of the 10 food groups that we are talking about, food diversification, at least they consume 5 out of the 10 food groups.
To sports, the national school games continue for the 3rd day. Soccer, basketball and volleyball teams will play, are actually playing this afternoon. And the reigning champions of the high school rugby sevens, Koyonzo, have been eliminated from this year's tournament after losing to Bwake with a score of 10-5 in the quarter-final. In other matches, Friends School Kamsinga will face St. Joseph's Kitale in the semi-finals, while the defending champions Onjiko will meet Sawagongo.
Jua ya kwamba bado kazi iko mbele, tunaingia semifinal, na hiyo kazi ya semifinal si rahisi. Vile nilisema awali, kiwango ya mwaka huu iko juu kiasi. Timu zimejiandaa vizuri, lakini sisi pia tumejitayarisha. Na watoto wakiendelea kufuata mawaidha yenye tunawapa, tuko na uhakika ya kwamba tunashinda hiki kikombe cha huu mwaka wa 2024.
So whichever team that comes, we will of course meet them in our semi-finals. Then in the afternoon, we'll play the finals. I'm so grateful to the fans, the environment, the facilities, the sponsors, Indomie, for having sponsored this basketball. All the other teams did not have a sponsor, but the basketball teams had a sponsor, Indomie. We are so grateful about that, 2024. Going forward, we believe we're going to make it. We are looking forward to take the trophy home, the national trophy home, and then continue to East Africa.
as a defending champ, we have to show that actually we deserve being the defending champs. As a principal, I've supported the school in general and basketball in particular, because as for now, it's the only team proceeding. And so we have put our weight on it to ensure that it is well.
Now to France, former world under-20 champion Faith Cherotich clocked a season-best time of 8 minutes 55.15 seconds to finish third in Paris Games 3,000-meter steeplechase final that also saw Kenyan-born Bahraini Winfred Mutile Yavi capture gold medal in a new Olympic record at the Stade de France on Tuesday evening. Cherotich, who turned 20 last month, gave Kenya her fourth medal, but her compatriot and the world record holder Beatrice Chepkoech finished sixth in a time of 9 minutes 0.24 seconds to sum up a below-par outing in the French capital. Mutile blazed down the stretch, upstaging defending champion Peruth Chemutai of Uganda to add the Olympic gold to her world crown in a new Olympic record of 8 minutes 52.76 seconds. Well, still in France, at the Stade de France, where Timothy Cheruiyot finished 11th, clocking 3 minutes 31.35 seconds in the 1500-meter men's final, while Brian Komen, the compatriot, finished 12th. The timed 3 minutes 35.59 seconds in a very frustrating final for the Kenyans. All right, so that is where we wrap it up. But news coming in just now is that the Parliament Committee, that is the Committee for Appointments, has rejected the appointment of Gender CS nominee Stella Langat. So she's the only one who's not making through that particular vetting process. Remember, the process began last week, Thursday, all the way to Sunday, where they were vetting cabinet secretary nominees that had been fronted by President William Ruto. And so one person down, and the others proceed. So we'll be keeping tabs on that, and more stories making headlines across the country. We're also keeping tabs on the Olympic Games, where we've got quite a couple of races that are still on and are not yet done. So we've got that and much more in our subsequent bulletins. Keep it EBN TV. Blessed afternoon.